Hello, what's up, YouTube world? It is your girl here, the Venusian Bull. I know that it has been quite a minute since I have done an astrology video, but your girl has been busy. But I'm coming back strong in 2019, trying to be consistent with these videos. Keyword try. So I'm not making any promises that I can't keep, but I really need to get back into the swing of things with my astrology videos because it's very important to me and it's a lot of fun. And I really, want to share some knowledge. And I look at a lot of other astrologers and their forecast videos and how they describe different aspects that are happening in the cosmic weather, and I'm really like, I can do that. You know what I mean? I need to, I needed to build up some confidence. So here I am. So today we are going to be talking about the ever popular topic of Mercury in retrograde. All right, so many people know of this term, but many people don't really know what it means. So as a brief synopsis of what Mercury in retrograde means, well, first off, Mercury is the planet of communication, all things communication. So that has to deal with me, just physically talking to you right now, down to your emails, down to your social media, down to, actual postal mail service, internet connections, you watching TV, you speaking with others, communicating with others, and basically any facet of communication, writing, typing, anything, whatever. So Mercury represents all of that, but it also represents like siblings. It represents early childhood. It represents, kind of like your neighborhood as well. So Mercury also represents short distance travel, among other things. Obviously represents our phones, our laptops, our devices, and things of that nature. So Mercury runs the gambit of things that it can represent. So when Mercury goes in retrograde, retrograde literally means slowing down, going backwards, kind of reflecting, kind of looking at things in retrospect, so to speak. So when Mercury does that, it kind of puts confusion in the air, and it makes those, all of those things that I mentioned that represent Mercury in terms of communication, it makes communication wonky. Things happen. You miss calls, you forget to respond to emails that may be kind of important. I said it represents short distance travel, so it may have to deal with a delayed flight, or it may have to deal with, maybe even a fender bender, or, you being stopped by the cops or something like that, or it may have to deal with you getting into an accident. It may have to deal with the miscommunication of words. You say the wrong things. You having a conversation with someone and it goes awry. So anything that has to do with communication can kind of be like, it's a shitty time for things that involve communication, Mercury retrograde. Let's put it like that. It is not the best time to like embark on anything new concerning communication. Yet here I am doing this video. It's not new per se, but it's new for the year. So that's kind of the energy of Mercury. So Mercury is actually going to be going retrograde tomorrow, March 5th, and it is in the sign of Pisces. And right now, Pisces is at the 29th degree, or Mercury rather, is at the 29th degree of Pisces. So with it going in retrograde, it's going to be reverting back. So it's going to be going back 28 degrees, 27 degrees, 26 degrees, and so forth and so on. So the retrograde is going to go all the way back to 16 degrees Pisces before it goes forward again. And Mercury will go back direct on March 28th. So at that point, it'll be at 16 degrees Pisces. So even with it going direct, it's still going to be in Pisces. And I'm going to explain the Pisces energy for you in a second. So Mercury will remain in Pisces until April 17th. And April 17th is when it will go direct in Aries. Now, remember all that stuff that I mentioned about Mercury being in retrograde and how that really stifles the communication process? It causes confusion. Well, Pisces is the sign of confusion. Pisces is just a confused energy, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to communication, Mercury is actually in its fall, or is it in its detriment? I think it's in its detriment in Pisces because it rules Virgo. So Mercury is not really happy in the sign of Pisces. Mercury is about logic. Mercury is about rationale, you know what I'm saying? And Pisces is about dreamy and illusions. And Pisces be like, I'll be like, fuck time. I'll be like, fuck time. So when you need to get places, Mercury retrograde, especially Mercury retrograde in Pisces. Pisces doesn't believe in a schedule. They don't believe in time. So make sure that you are, setting your alarms, because Mercury in Pisces could really jack up the schedule. By the way, that song that I was singing called Time, it's by Jade Nova. So go check her out. But yeah, so I randomly, sing in between videos if you see my other one. So don't pay any attention to that. No, do pay attention, but it's fun. So with that being said, Mercury is going to, especially with all this other Pisces energy in the air. So right now the sun is in Pisces, the moon is in Pisces. There is going to be a new moon on March the 6th, I believe. So the moon right now, not right now, but tomorrow, this chart is actually the chart for March 5th, when Mercury will be in retrograde. So yeah, so the sun, the moon, Neptune, and Mercury are all going to be in Pisces at the same damn time. So it's a lot of Pisces energy that's going on. So it's a lot of people getting in touch with their spirituality. People may be a little bit more compassionate during this time. People may be more creative, especially in artistic pursuits and endeavors. Pisces is the sign of the artist. So that is positive energy with Pisces. But when it comes to communication and logic and rationale, Pisces is just not the sign for that. Pisces is very much in la la land. They're in their own little world. It's a deep ocean of thoughts. And Mercury has to deal with the mind, and the mind can really be in a disarray when it is in Pisces, let alone the Mercury retrograde in Pisces. So this is going to be a tough time to really make concrete decisions, because you're going to be in a state of, I don't know, maybe I should choose this, maybe I should choose that, maybe I should choose this. It's going to be kind of a state of indecisiveness. It's going to be a state of idealism as opposed to a state of realism, which could be good in like the spiritual realm, but in the reality of what is, there's things that have to be done, there's things that need to be taken care of, and that Pisces energy is going to be a little bit a lot stifling of that. So it'll be a real nice change of pace once Mercury snaps into Aries. Actually, when the sun goes into Aries, you'll feel that switch, because Mercury in Pisces, it's gonna give off this kind of like lazy, like chill, like I don't really want to do anything vibe. I just want to drink my wine, smoke my weed, and be like, fuck time. That song is so the epitome of Pisces. It doesn't even make any sense. But yeah, but definitely this is a great time, especially with all this energy in Pisces, to get in touch with your creative and like artistic endeavors, anything that you do from a creative standpoint, whether that is artistic, maybe it's, doing makeup, maybe it's doing hair, maybe it's even dealing with, anything Piscean, dealing with animals, helping people, healing people. This is a great time for people who are into the occult sciences, like myself, astrology, tarot, numerology. You may be having some big business, because people are going to be having some questions, and they're going to need to know. They're going to need to go to their spiritual advisors, their healers, the people who have that metaphysical knowledge and things like that. They're going to be wanting to get readings. So this is a great time for things like that, and you know, musicians, and for you to create music and write and all of those types of things. It's a great time for that. It's just not the best time for communicating with others. This is the time to like kind of retreat, and this is the time to go deep inside yourself or deep into the ocean and just kind of swim in that, you know, because Pisces are the fish and everything. So you kind of like getting the idea, understand the slowdown. And also Mars is in Taurus, so that's slowing down the speed of things as well. Mars is not really, that's not the best place for Taurus. It's an okay place for Mars, but it's not, you know, it doesn't really coincide. So that Mercury and Pisces happening on top of the Mars and Taurus is really, and Mars is right here. Here's Mercury right here in the purple. Mars is in the red in Taurus. That's a sign for Taurus. Mercury and Pisces, that's a sign for Pisces. So you're looking at a lot of things happening in a very, very slow pace. So people who like things to speed up and go fast, it's not going to be happening with that Mercury and Pisces. A lot of things are going to be slowed down. So just really be on your P's and Q's. Make sure you check your work. Make sure you double check your emails. Make sure you check everything. Make sure, double check everything more than you would normally, because a lot of things can get blown out of proportion during Mercury retrograde. The people, like if you normally talk to people a certain way, then during this Mercury retrograde, you talk to them that way, they could maybe get offended and things like that, because Pisces is also a very sensitive sign. It takes in different energies. So even if you're not a Pisces, even if you don't have Piscean energy, it can still affect you, because the energy in the cosmic weather is Piscean, and it's not just Mercury in Pisces, it's Neptune, which is going to be in Pisces for quite some time, and it's going to also the sun and the moon. Now the moon is going to be out of Pisces in a couple of days, but yeah, but that Mercury and sun especially is going to be interacting with that Neptune at some point, and it's going to be creating a lot more delusions, illusions. Pisces is also the sign of lies and deceit. So definitely during this Mercury retrograde, be aware of people lying to you, communicating lies. That could maybe even be in the form of gossip and things like that, rumors spreading. So definitely be wary of that going on. And be wary of theft, because Pisces does rule theft. Just be wary of things being taken from you. In any event, it doesn't necessarily have to be something physical being taken from you, but Mercury retrograde always goes back to relationships, people coming back from I don't know when, or people, you know, leaving your life and things like that. So Mercury retrograde, old relationships, old boyfriends and girlfriends may just pop up out of the blue, and you didn't even like have any contact with this person, but all of a sudden they're texting you or they're contacting you on social media, and you're like, what's the deal? This could kind of happen during any Mercury retrograde. It doesn't matter the sign, but that Piscean energy can have you in like this delusional state of like, because you know when you broke up with this person, like that was it should have ended, that's it. And then you're in this delusional state of Pisces, and you're like, well, maybe we should be together, maybe it should work. No, don't try to rehash any relationships while Mercury is in retrograde. Sorry, I can't even speak today. That's Mercury retrograde. It's coming. It's getting me tongue tied. So you shouldn't try to rehash any relationships during Mercury retrograde. It's not a good time to do those types of things. And also, you really shouldn't try to generate new relationships during Mercury retrograde, because the mind is in a disarray. The mind isn't clear, especially in Pisces. I can't stress this enough. The mind is so foggy in Pisces. And make sure to be on top of your mental health too, because Pisces is one of the signs that's big for, you know, the potential for issues with mental health and things like that. So if you're going to therapy, keep doing that. If you feel the need to go to therapy, definitely go see a therapist. Remember, healing and things like that, this is a great time to do those types of things. So if you're not well, obviously, if you're into the occult sciences, you're watching this video or whatever. But if you're somebody like me who does both, who has gone to therapy and, you know, gets astrology readings and things like that, then you might want to do both. But this is definitely, you know, a great time to do that. But understand that you're not really going to be able to make clear, concise decisions during this time, especially like major decisions, because the energy of Mercury retrograde in Pisces is going to be so foggy. You're going to really be looking at things through rose-colored glasses. That's Pisces for sure. And you need to take those rose-colored glasses off and really look at things as they appear. And you may think that you are the most logical person ever, like this can never affect me. But yo, when the energy in the cosmic weather is in Pisces, the universe has other plans. So just be mindful of that and understand that sometimes things aren't in your control, especially when it has to do with Pisces. Sometimes you have to rely on faith, you know what I'm saying, to kind of get you through, because logic is not really going to work during this time. You know what I'm saying? It's not really going to benefit you during this time, because things are going to be so crazy and chaotic and confusing that you're not going to know what's the truth from the lie. You know what I mean? What's reality from the fantasy. So definitely keep that in mind. Beware of people who are just an illusion, who are fake, because once that Mercury goes out of retrograde and you're seeing things for what they are, you're going to be like, okay, like, I should have took those rose-colored glasses off a long time ago, and now I can see clearly, now I can see straight. So just being aware of this energy will make it a lot easier for you to kind of deal with the Mercury retrograde, particularly in Pisces. So I actually did a little mini reading for the energy that we're going to encounter while it is Mercury retrograde in Pisces, and this is from the time of March 5th, so that's tomorrow, to March 28th. And this may continue to linger on because Mercury will still be in Pisces until April 17th, but it's definitely going to let up. And so I just wanted to make that clear. So I pulled these cards before the video started, and I'm very new to doing tarot, so bear with me, please. So I pulled 3 cards to represent the energy of Mercury retrograde in Pisces. And the first card I pulled was the 9 of Cups. I hope you can see that. It's a little bit blurry there. I pulled the Lover's card. Okay. And then I also pulled the 8 of Wands. All right, so we see those there. So the 9 of Cups is very indicative of Pisces energy, because cups represents water energy, and Pisces is a water sign. So this is a very, it's emotional energy, fueled by emotions and spirituality. And 9 of Cups is known as the wish card, very wishful thinking. So that's very, very Piscean. Pisces is all about magic and making wishes. That's another thing that I wanted to point out about Pisces, is that this is about, well, actually I mentioned it earlier, this is about going off of faith and kind of believing in your faith, as opposed to reaching for logic. That's the 9 of Cups all day. That's the 9 of Cups all day. Having faith in something and believing it can happen, and it will. You know, you kind of have to, this is the time where you kind of have to go based off of your faith, whatever that may be. So if you believe in God, let it be that. If you believe in the universe, believe in a higher power, believe in Allah, it's not specific to any certain type of higher power or higher being. This is just about going with your faith, you know, letting go and let God, and making a wish, and it might come true. Because Pisces season, let me tell you, Pisces season is very magical. You know what I'm saying? So you can make those wishes and they can come true. Wish card right here. I can't make this stuff up. Yo, I'm just learning tarot, but let me tell you, tarot is it, okay? Tarot is it. So this was the first card that I pulled. that definitely is very indicative of Pisces season. Pisces season and Mercury retrograde in Pisces, because with Mercury being in retrograde, you can't rely on the logic. You can't rely on the logic with Mercury, particularly in retrograde in Pisces. So I want to stress that. All right, so the next card I got is the Lover's card. And I didn't really discuss this very much, but this is indicative of Pisces too, because Pisces is a very romantic sign. It is a sign that's very much about love and fantasy and romance and knight in shining armor, and kind of the real idealistic version of romance, you know, like the fairy tales, the kind of romances that you only see in the movies types of things. So that kind of coincides with the whole illusion type of situation going on. So definitely beware if you're dating or you're involved in any type of relationships. And it doesn't just have to be romantic relationships. Just know that those things can kind of be like tested during a Mercury retrograde period. And don't let all of the flowers and rainbows and illusions fool you, because reality can and will set in. So make sure that, you know, you stay alert and be aware of what's going on. Don't let all of this love mess get in your head. Like, don't let it do that. It's fine to dream and to fantasize, but remember, we're in reality. Just remember that. And just remember yourself first when it comes to love. Remember to love yourself first, okay? Don't get caught up. Don't lose yourself, because Pisces is about losing yourself. So make sure you don't lose yourself in love. Okay. So next we have the Eight of Wands. And this is an interesting card that came up for Mercury retrograde in Pisces, because Pisces isn't really about doing things quickly. It's not really about doing things fast. So what I'm gathering from the Eight of Wands is that this is energy for Mercury. Really, it's like your mind. It's going and it's going, it's going, it's going. So you may be kind of going in circles with things that you're thinking about, things that you need to do, and things of that nature. So I would say when that Mercury goes direct, you'll really be able to go forward with whatever it is that you were trying to do. It's going to be a little bit stagnant at first, but you're going to be able to get to your goals. But just know that your mind is going to be racing. This is not going to be a time of a restless mind. So you are going to have to try to meditate to slow things down, because things are going to be moving fast and you're kind of going to be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? So, you know, the Eight of Wands does indicate that there is going to be a moment where things are you're going to be in this kind of state of slowness, and then all of a sudden it's going to be so just keep that in mind. Remember, stay alert. Try not to be in la la land. This is telling you to stay alert. That's what the Eight of Wands is telling you. See how my intuition is working. Eight of Wands is telling you to stay alert. So let me pull up these cards again. You know what I'm saying? So you got the Nine of Cups. So make those wishes, you know, make those intentions and everything, light your candles, make those wishes so that they can come true during Aries season. Because Aries season is right around the corner, March 20th. That's when things will really go into effect, probably. More than likely. So then you got the Lover's card. Remember to think about yourself. Remember to not get so caught up in others. Remember to love yourself and to not be fazed by the delusions of the romance and the love and things like that. You can enjoy it, but make sure you stay on your toes and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that you're putting yourself first, because Pisces can be very sacrificial. You know what I'm saying? They can kind of be the sacrificial lamb, and they can kind of have the tendency to have people walk all over them. And you don't want to have that happen, especially during Mercury retrograde, because you don't want to incur any irreparable damage with that. So make sure that if you are embarking on a new relationship, or if you are currently in a relationship, that you take off those rose-colored glasses and look at things for what they really are. Look at yourself for who you really are and love yourself. You know what I mean? Love is a beautiful thing, but when it's fabricated and when it's full of delusions and idealism and fantasy and not reality, it's not going to, benefit you. You know what I mean? And understand, Pisces energy is fabulous, but it does have its downsides. So going into this Eight of Wands, just stay alert. Stay alert, stay aware, stay alert when you're driving. Don't be falling asleep. Pisces is a sign of sleep. Remember, I said Mercury is the planet of short distance travel, and that involves you driving your car. So make sure you stay alert. Make sure you stay awake. Make sure you're not oversleeping, because Pisces season can really have you in this daze and living in confusion. So just stay up, stay alert. Be prepared, because it's something that's coming for you. You made that wish for it. You know what I'm saying? So you need to stay aware. You need to stay alert. And you need to keep those rose-colored glasses off so you can make these accomplishments come true for yourself that you're planning. So that was the tarot reading there. And I hope you enjoyed my Mercury retrograde video. I plan on doing more videos where I'm talking about transits and things like that. So Uranus is about to go into Taurus. So actually it's happening on the 6th. So I feel like I want to do a video on that as well. So stay tuned. And if for whatever reason that video doesn't come out, blame it on Mercury retrograde. It's a perfect time to blame stuff on Mercury retrograde. So you know how people say blame it on the alcohol? During Mercury retrograde, blame it on the retrograde. They were like, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you text me back? You know what? You can be like, you know what? I'm sorry. It's Mercury retrograde. I must have forgot. Pisces energy is very forgetful. So understand that. And just chuck it up to Mercury retrograde. Everybody's not going to understand. People are not going to be understanding of this. But Mercury retrograde can really jack things up communication-wise. So it's not really a throwaway. It could really be facts, but people can exaggerate that. So if anything happens that doesn't go the way you plan, blame it on Mercury retrograde. And also remember that while I am an astrologer, connoisseur, or whatever, student of astrology and student of tarot now, I am also a singer, very Piscean. I'm an artist. So I do have a new song that is out. It is called Unapologetically Black. And it is available on all digital and all streaming platforms. Why does my blackness offend you? Hey, why does my skin tone threaten you? Unapologetically black. Just a little taste for you. So definitely click the links below so that you can get a taste of my new single, and all of my other singles that I've released in the past year are available on all of the streaming platforms as well. And check out my other channel, Dana Monet, for any exclusive content pertaining to my music and any singing videos. Until next time, I'm out.